Hi, so for my second vlog, I'm going to be focusing on week 8, and the topic is gender and sexuality. I chose to do questions 3 and 4 just because I found the topic pretty interesting. They're both based on the reading Fraternities and Collegiate Rape Culture. So the third question states, according to the reading, what is rape culture? How is rape culture linked to men and women doing gender? Based on their findings, most men resisted the idea that a woman who is intoxicated is unable to consent to sex. Why is that? And how does this attitude toward rape affect the lives of women? So, from the reading on page 217, the definition of rape culture is a set of values and beliefs that provide an environment conducive to rape. So males are often taught to be tough through their actions and their behaviors, and they use that aggression as an excuse to their behavior, which can contribute to the rape culture because rape can then be seen as normalized because men are just using their aggression that they were taught with. And then women, men are usually like patted on the back for it, but women are usually degraded for it and they get name called. They're also taught at an age to pretty much like looks over voice, that they are to be like attractive to a male, and so they are less assertive, and that can increase like their vulnerability in a rape culture. They can also be easily taken advantage of because of that mindset. There are a few responses that the males gave in the study to why men resisted that an intoxicated woman cannot consent to sex. A few of them were, so one man stated how like men should not be responsible for a woman's drunkenness. Another stated that like the woman come on to them, so what are they supposed to do because they're only human. When they're drunk they come on to them. And then another one said that he did not care if alcohol was involved or not. A rapist are only someone who has something seriously wrong with them. I think these attitudes toward rape can affect a woman tremendously. They can become mentally and emotionally and possibly physically hurt, and they kind of become like paranoid, and sometimes, since they're taught like the looks over the voice, they're kind of scared to speak out for what happens, just because like they could have been threatened, or they're just timid about it. The study done kind of makes me wonder like the impact of the size of the university. They didn't say which one it was, but does like a large university have a bigger rape culture than a smaller university? Or also like I guess like the reputation of the university, like if does a more well-known university have a bigger or less rape culture, or do they hide it because they don't want that to hurt their reputation? Yes, there's just like a few impacts. Also, like if there are any athletes in the fraternities, or were they just a male in the fraternity? Because athletes are kind of seen as tough people and more dominant. So, if that had any impact on the rape culture. So the fourth question states, according to the reading, what is the legal definition of rape? What settings are more likely places for rape than others? The author mentioned that to eliminate rape culture on campus, we need to promote settings that facilitate positive gender relations. In your opinion, how do we do that? So from the reading on page 224, the legal definition of rape is the perpetration of an act of sexual intercourse with a female against her will and consent, whether her will is overcome by force or fear resulting from the threat of force, or by doing drugs or intoxicants, or when because of mental deficiency she is incapable of exercising rational judgment. I kind of have a problem with that definition just because males can also be raped. I know the study focused on females in frats at a university, so I don't know. I just don't understand why males were not included in that. But from a study, the settings where rape is more likely to occur were at places that had no seating available. There was loud music playing. There was a large male to female ratio, and in places where men tend to degrade women. Also, if the female is not well known to the brothers in the fraternity, she is at a higher risk for rape just because she's a faceless girl, and there's no like connection between like the brother and the girl. And so the last part of the question is kind of hard to answer because we're able to promote like positive gender relations through like protest or promoting like a masculine identity in which violence is not acceptable, and that doesn't prove that you're tough. There's also different programs you can create to create that like respectful environment between a male and female. We could also teach girls that their voice matters more than their looks, and teach them to be more assertive and to speak out. The problem is that rape culture can be prevented. I don't think that it's something that is not inevitable. I think like it's possible to have that male and female respect. But the problem is you have to change the mindset of people who think rape is normalized, and it can be hard to do that because some people are not willing. So you have to attain like that willingness from a person before you can change their mindset, if that makes sense. But yeah, so that is it for this vlog for this week. I don't really have much more. I just thought it was an interesting topic to speak about.